Hello and hi, and welcome to the Officials Podcast. I am your host, the Official T, and today is a wonderful day. Uh, we have an amazing and exciting guest with us, the one and only.
What's up, everybody? It's the General here. What's up? Thanks for having me, bro.
It's our pleasure, man. Thanks for coming.
No problem. I really love the fact that I'm the first guest here. You know, it's a complete honor. The Officials Podcast. I love it.
Thank you so much for coming.
Too easy.
Okay. So before we go much into our podcast today, we just want you to tell people who is you.
Okay.
Who you are out there. Send a message to these people. Like, you just met me today. I don't know you. Send a message for people to know you in the first 30 seconds. Who is you?
No problem. I go by the General, but my real name is James Francis. I am a social media influencer, you could say. I post encouraging, inspirational content. I am 21 years old right now. I'm a customs officer. So that really sums up what I do. I'm more known for the inspirational, encouraging content.
Wow. As you have heard for yourself, this is the man himself. We have him here today on our wonderful podcast. The first and only guest on the Officials Podcast. So, first of all, one question I would like to ask you is, as you have said, you is a social media influencer.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to start your journey?
Well, we could break it down. Let's start from the beginning. So, I always grew up in church. My mom was that type of person. Well, my parents were those type of people to always have me in church. And when I say church, I'm talking about Sunday morning service, Sunday school, Bible study. On Tuesdays, Thursdays is prayer meeting, youth Fridays, clean up the church Saturdays. Like, that was my type of life when I was younger. So I always was in church. And I remember when I was about 14, 15, 16, I used to come up at the altar and I used to do exaltations because at my church, what we used to do is invite the visitors. Then we used to acknowledge the birthday celebrants, then the anniversaries. And then what I used to do after that, I used to do a quick 2-3 minute exaltation. So when I used to do that, I used to get a lot of feedback like, oh, James, you're so encouraging, you're so vibrant and you're full of energy and what's not. So I started to do it live. And then eventually when I was about 16, 17, I used to question myself a lot. Like, I never was suicidal, but I used to ask myself, what's my purpose? Why am I here? I never wanted to be an average person. I never wanted to just go school, work for the government for 30, 40 years and then just retire. I always wanted to be different, you know? So I just used to pray all the time and ask God, like, what is my purpose? Give me a platform to influence people in ways that an average person can't. I always used to pray that prayer. And then I remember one specific day, I was at my friend's house and then I was telling him the same thing. I was like, bro, like, I want to be different. I don't want to be average. Like, I just got an itching feeling in me to say, I'm supposed to be different. And then he was like, well, James, how about you just start to do videos on TikTok and Instagram and what's not? And I said, why not? Like, normally I would, like, when somebody give me a suggestion, is like, I find an excuse for it. But this time it was like, why not? So that was about 17 and a half. And then I started to procrastinate for about 2.5 years. Like, just trying to figure out, like, what is the best camera equipment I could get? What is the best editing software? And then eventually I was like, I was turning 20 years old. Eventually I was like, just post a video. Just do it. And then on my 20th birthday, I post my first video.
Okay. So you were procrastinating for 2 years now.
2.5 years, yeah.
Wow.
About that time, yeah.
It's long, man. So for me, I watch your videos a lot. Like I've told you before. And there's this one statement I like you say. You don't say you are here to motivate. You say, I'm not here to motivate you.
Yeah.
I'm here to add value to your life.
Yeah.
What does that mean to people out there? I know it's not only me waiting to hear that. What does that mean to others? Like, you're not there to motivate, but to add value. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, so that what you're talking about is like an outro catchphrase what I just do like for most of my videos.
Yes.
I'm not here to motivate you, but I'm here to add value to your life. I got that outro because I never wanted to make videos that motivated people, because motivation in my eyes is like a temporary feeling, and I don't want you to watch my videos to get a temporary high or feeling to do something, and then later on is like you just feel down again. I wanted to make videos to say, when you don't feel motivated, when on those days where you feel down or whatever, you remember my videos and say, okay, I still have to go.
Okay.
So I never did it to motivate people, even though a lot of people still call me a motivator. I don't really mind, but it's more encouragement and inspiration. Yeah.
Wow. So like, I want to ask you this question. So how do you come up with these fresh ideas and impactful messages?
Yeah.
Where do you get it from? Because most of the time I see a different thing.
Yeah.
Where do you get these ideas?
That's a good question. And crazy enough, a lot of people used to ask me like, yo, General, why you don't do Google these things or something? Like, why you don't do look on Instagram or something? And crazy enough, I never use Chat GPT. I never use Instagram or look on Instagram and see somebody post an inspirational quote and use that. I never Google nothing. It's just like anything could cause me to make a video. I could be sitting outside. What I used to do a lot is meditate a lot.
Okay.
I used to be on my veranda, and I used to just sit down without my phone, and I used to just say, God, what you want me to talk about? Because before, I used to use a book. I used to call it the dream book. It's like a normal notebook, a red book. I used to call it the dream book, and I just used to write all my ideas in there. Just all my ideas, and then eventually I just started to use my phone. But anything could inspire me, like from hearing a word, hearing a sentence, looking at the clouds, like anything could just give me a word to speak about, to be honest.
Okay.
It could come from anywhere.
Okay. The most important question, I think this is the most, is how do you overcome challenges in this journey as you continue to motivate people? I know you have challenges. Everybody has challenges. So when you face these challenges, how do you overcome them? Like, have you ever faced something like criticism from people? Like, what you do?
You know, that's a good question, because the crazy part about my content, I don't really face much challenges because it's so positive. Like, you know, maybe with Wandan videos, for example, like, you know, the comedy videos, people be like, oh yeah, funny, whatever. For most of my videos, I always get like positive content. The one thing what came to mind though is I'm a customs officer as well. So you would never see me do videos in my customs uniform or anything like that. Like customs and my personal TikTok videos or whatever is two separate lives. I remember a time I was making a video, and it was basically about not watching people pockets. And I remember in the TikTok comment, somebody without a username face or anything, like a random profile without any like followers, they was like, oh yeah, that's right. So stop watching people pocket when you come to the airport and you're pulling people to charge them overcharging them or whatever. And it's like, those are two separate lives. So that was the only instance where it's like, where you're bringing one life into the other. But like, other than that, I really don't face much challenges like that.
So you don't face challenges most of the time because you're always positive.
Yeah. The only challenge I would say is maybe sometimes I will feel inconsistent because, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but like, I'm human still. I'm human still. I still get things to do in my personal life. I still got bills to pay, work to go to, people to look after. So maybe sometimes when I feel down, because I do get down sometimes, I find myself being inconsistent. But when I do find myself becoming inconsistent, I remember why I do my videos, because I had a lot of different instances where a lot of people just come to me and open up their personal life. And when I hear their personal life, is like, that's the reason why I do it. I never wanted to become famous. I just wanted to be effective. I never wanted to become popular. I just wanted to live in my purpose.
Okay.
So like, when I see people coming and saying, you help me with my mental health, you help me to look at life in a different way, you stop me from killing myself. When I hear things like that, how can I stop? I can't stop, because those are the people I do it for. So only inconsistencies like that would happen, but other than that, I don't face much challenges. No.
Okay. So do you use your motivation on yourself as well?
Of course. See, that's a wonderful question because a lot of people don't know this. Most of my videos, I just actually be talking to myself, and I feel like that's why I just be so relatable. Is because a lot of people don't know is at first is like I used to make videos for myself. I would never forget this specific video. I was wearing a black shirt, and I could remember this to this day. It goes, "What if God ruined your plans so that your plans won't ruin you? What if God removed that person from your presence because he was hearing the conversations they were having about you in your absence? What if God allowed you to monumentally fail so that he could watch you monumentally succeed at something even greater?" And it goes on and goes on. But when I watch those videos, I get goosebumps because it's like I'm talking to myself. So by extension, I talk to so much other people. You know what I mean? So I do encourage myself in my own videos by far.
You just motivated me right now with just that one clip. You just motivate me like, what if? Like sometimes we don't think that way. But we need to come out of our comfort zone to think that way as well. Like, what if? Sometimes we tend to blame God for something. Like, why did you remove this best person in my life? But you don't know what's happening behind those.
Exactly.
God could see everything.
Exactly. That was the main purpose of that video. That's literally, I think that's my favorite video of all time. I don't think I have a video better than that.
It is honestly my favorite as well.
Too easy, bro.
So, I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people tend to find it hard and to deal with their personal, like they got self-doubt in them. Like they doubt themselves a lot. So, what is one advice out there you tell people to overcome self-doubt? Like, I doubt myself a lot. Like, how can I put, it's not me. I tend to doubt myself a lot. What is one advice you give to people out there so that, you know, this is how you can overcome this self-doubt?
By understanding that you're not by yourself, and everyone who is truly gifted has self-doubt. What a lot of people don't understand is that when you're truly gifted, you can't see it. I could see you right now. I could see the people behind the scenes. I could see the trees. I could see the restaurant and what's not, but I could never see myself. So it's like when you're truly gifted, it's like you're normal. When singers sing, when a good singer sings, it's like they're normal.
Yeah.
When a good communicator who has the ability to create a podcast is a good speaker, is just the normal. Somebody who could naturally encourage people is just the normal. So at times when I perform or other people perform, it's like, oh my gosh, that ain't good. Oh my gosh, that ain't good. Because they're self-doubting themselves because they don't see themselves. So the best way to overcome self-doubt is surround yourself with people who will tell you how it is, honestly. So on those days where you feel like that wasn't as good as I thought, your friends will tell you that's not as bad as you think. And the wonderful part about that is when you have honest friends, you would always appreciate their compliments because of their criticisms. Because when they tell you straight up, that wasn't good. If they're always telling you that wasn't good and you know for a fact they got your best interest at heart, when they finally tell you that was awesome, you know for a fact that was good. So the best advice would be surround yourself with people who you can be vulnerable around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think they could hear people out there. So as we go to our last segment, I want you to ask this question like, who or what has been your biggest influence in shaping your message?
Who has been my biggest influence? To be honest, out of all of them, I would say TD Jakes. Bishop TD Jakes. Because when I was growing up, my mother always used to go on TD Jakes. Once 8 o'clock in the night come on, nobody touches the TV other than my mother to watch TD Jakes. So even when I didn't want to watch TD Jakes, he was always in my head. So like after watching him, after so much years, it's like he always give me like a sense of encouragement. I remember a time I had to like kind of preach for my church. And I remember like between me and you, I take an entire segment of TD Jakes like sermon and just imitate it in front of the church, and nobody had know, and he had done so well, but in my mind I was like, they don't even know it's TD Jakes actually said this. So it's like TD Jakes by far is one of my biggest inspiration. Like I just love his messages and how relatable he is, to be honest.
Wow.
So it's TD Jakes, myself for sure. Like if it wasn't for me, thank God, of course. But if it wasn't for me, who had the encouragement, like the self encouragement to say, let's just do it. What gonna happen? Let's just do it. So our like me is a big encouragement, and maybe Dejua. I don't know if you know who Dejua is.
Yeah.
Like he's a local singer because
Yes.
crazy enough, I wasn't always in this encouragement road. At first, I wanted to become a singer. And I went to him and he was like, it's possible we could talk about it. But, you know, long story short, I ended up took the route of encouragement.
So you could pass a song right now.
Bye, stop playing about. Yeah. I wonder if, like, me as a man, if you tell me sing, I wouldn't sing. You have to catch me, like, you know, off guard to hear me sing. I don't like to sing on the spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Next time.
I'll
catch you.
Too easy, man.
I'll get you. Okay. So, want to say, stay tuned for the second segment. We are going on a little break. Stay tuned.
Too easy.
And welcome to our second segment. I am your host, the official T, with your wonderful guest once again. So as we continue, now we want to dive more into the mindset and the lifestyle of you. So if someone is feeling stuck in life, what's the first step they should take according to you?
If you're feeling stuck in life, I would say get yourself into as much things as possible. Because for most people who feel stuck, let's say it's a young person, when they feel stuck, it's like they're not exposed to as much things as possible. Because I could tell you for a fact, like when I was a bit younger, I never used to involve me things, myself in much. So it's like I never had stories to tell. I wasn't really into much things other than like maybe football or stuff like that. So it's like I felt stuck at a point as well. So most people who feel stuck, I would say just experience things, travel, try new sports, try new foods and them kind of stuff. And when you have a strong interest in something, I would say maybe pursue a career in it. Because the crazy part is that, back to TD Jakes again, I remember his son was going to school for musical engineering or something like that. And then he turned to his father, TD Jakes, and he was like, well, Dad, like, what? Like, I'm going to study musical engineering, but what if that's not the thing? What if that's not what I'm here for? And then TD Jakes leaned over and he said, if that's not the thing, that will be the thing that leads to the thing. So it's like, even if you feel like you're not supposed to be selling patties for the USA life, if you're interested in it, do it. And eventually, how God set up, God is such a good God. Is like, when you start to do something like that, it's like you stumble into another thing. Like, oh my gosh, I'm doing patties right now, but I could do this. I could start this and what's not. So it's like, just expose yourself to as much things as possible and God don't do the rest. Because in Psalms 1 verse 3, it says, and whatsoever you doeth shall prosper. And the crazy part is that God can't prosper something that you have not done. A lot of times people does want God to bless them and want God to give them furniture. And the analogy between that is that God never make furniture. God never make a table. God never make a closet. God only make trees. God presented trees. And then when he presented the trees, that was up to us now to carve it out and make the different items that we want. So my best advice is just try new things.
Okay.
Just try it.
I've heard that there. Wow. Great message. Okay. So what does success look like to you beyond social media numbers? I know you got 1,000 followers and that. So what does success look like beyond those numbers?
I feel like success is subjective. A lot of people think success is a giant house with a lot of money and this and that. Some people got a kind of analogy, but I think success is just what you want out of life. Success to somebody could be the load of money, what people just want. Other people's success could be having a nice house, 2 kids and a wife, and making sure those kids live to the best to the best version of themselves. And it's just your own definition of success. For me, I never did it for the views. As I said before, I never wanted to become famous. I just wanted to be effective. I never wanted to be popular. I just wanted to live in my purpose. So I never did it for the views per se. but it's like, what is your definition of success? What do you want out of life? You know what I mean? So that's how I view it.
Okay.
hmm
Nice. So, how do you see your platform evolving in the next few years? A good one there.
That's a good question. How I see myself. Like for me, I don't like to go that far ahead, like where I see myself in 5 years, because as I said, so much things does happen where you just stumble into stuff.
Yeah.
I could tell you so much different examples of different features and guests I had on my own personal platform that I just stumbled into. For example, is like when I used to work at the airport, I met this guy with a family, and his name is Insane Shane. He's like a big content creator influencer. He had at the time he had like 1.1 million followers on Instagram and 2.1 million on TikTok. And I just randomly saw him in the airport. I just told him like, you look very familiar. Long story short, it was him. And he followed me on Instagram. I followed him back, and then just out of so we just met up, do a video, and that video did like 700,000 views or something like that. Like I felt so good in that moment. I felt like I represented my country because I did it in my Saint Kitts flag shirt and what's not.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't really project myself too far. I like to do it like maybe month by month, 6 months ahead and what's not, because as I said before, the things like you stumble into is like it just come out of nowhere, it's like out of your plan. So I know for a fact some big things coming though. I could tell you that for a fact, some big like before in next 1-2 months, some big things about to happen. I don't want to expose too much. I'm cooking. Let me cook.
Okay.
Let me
Big
cook.
things are going
You know what I
there,
mean?
right?
Of course. Some big things coming for sure. I can tell you that.
Okay. So can you give us like examples of the big guests you have ever had on your platform, like this big influencer or big people, whatever you call them, that you have had on your platform before?
Well, I was telling you this before we started recording. Matt Brantley for sure. I never knew that was a big video until it was posted, because how I got his number, I just called somebody 5 minutes later, bam, I got his number. And how it was so easy to get to him. Like, he just seemed like a normal guy. I went to Nevis. Well, this is Nevis. So I came here and I went to his office, and then we just went in the office. And first of all, Matt Bradley's office is very big, by the way. When I went in, I saw him and I was like, that's Matt Bradley, because like at the time he had smooth skin. He was big and white. I was like, this is Matt Bradley. But eventually I calmed down and I realized he's just a person. And when I did the video, he was just so cool, so chill. And then when I posted it, like in less than a week, some people was coming up to me. I was like, you the one who did the video with Matt Bradley? Oh, I see you on TikTok doing a video with Matt Bradley, and
that was
them kind of stuff. So that was a good video. As I was telling you, the video with Insane Shane that did some numbers for real. And I could just go on and on with the people I met up with. Ike. I did a video with Ike, Samuel Duggins. I did a video with Nanton Wandan. Some different. I can't even remember everybody, to be honest, but I think the one I'm most proud of is the one I was telling you before. My favorite video. What if God ruined your plans?
Yes.
That every time I see it, I just feel so encouraged.
I even felt something when you were saying it. What if? We don't think that way. This is a problem with us.
You know what I mean?
We need to think that way in a new dimension. Think about it. What if?
Yeah, what if?
Because we tend to blame God for all the things like, I lost a friend, I lost a mother, I lost that. But what if?
Exactly. And to add on to what you were saying is like, sometimes we don't say, God, what year and let me get that job I was praying for?
Yes.
What year and let me get in a relationship with that person I really wanted?
Yes.
And the crazy part is God doesn't see what would have happened if you had get a job, if you had get in a relationship with that person. So sometimes we just have to thank God.
Yeah.
Instead of blaming him for the things that we didn't get. Because when we look back and we're in a better situation, you'll be like, wow, it's a good thing man get a job, but it's a good thing man get in a relationship with she. You know what I mean? So we should be thankful instead of blaming him for things that we didn't have.
Yeah, for real. That's good. Okay. So what's one piece of advice you give to someone who wants to start adding value to others?
You like that word, add value, boy.
I like it. Anytime I watch your videos, to be honest, I wait for that part. Even sometimes I might not even listen to the whole message, but I'm waiting for the last part. I'm like, that part, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, when I see people in tongue and people be like, I'm not here to motivate you, I'm here to advise
your life, man.
That's so amusing. I really like that feedback. One piece of advice I would say is, let's say you want to become, get into social media and what's not. I would say, enter a niche in social media that you actually enjoy.
Yes.
Don't do it because you want to become the next big thing. Don't do it because you want to be viral or be this hot shot or whatever. Do it because you genuinely love it. Because trust me, when you first start, wherever you want to start, you're not going to get 10,000 views. You're not going to get 100,000 views. You might be lucky if you get 1,000 views. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like, I would say, enter a realm or a niche or category that you genuinely love. So whether that is cooking, a day in my life, gardening, I don't know. But if you want to add value in any type of way, as in like maybe information or education, anything, just make sure you love it. Because on those days where you're not getting 200,000 views and you're only getting 200 views, you could remember, well, I still like it anyway, so I'm going to continue to do it. Because crazy enough, if you was to look at me TikTok, like my first couple views, I was only getting like 200 views, 400 views, and something like that. So I kept doing it because I just always love to encourage people. You know what I mean? So enter a realm that you actually enjoy to make content. You know what I mean? And then that's when you could pursue what you really love.
Okay. So as we close up our program, if you could give or leave one lasting impact on our audience, on your audience as well, what would it be?
Don't give up on your dream. I would definitely say, don't give up on your dream. I was just talking about the fact that you cannot get 10,000 views in your first video. Unless you is one of them, regular people, maybe one or two miraculous people who just went viral. On average, maybe one of those guys, you're not gonna get big time views or big time money or whatever you're doing, starting a business or what's not, you're not gonna get upscale money off rip. But don't give up on your dream. That's the biggest thing I would say. I was telling you earlier about your podcast as well. The fact that you're not gonna get 5 million subscribers one time. It takes a while. And I feel like the journey to success or the journey to where you want to go is more exciting than being there. Because when you're there, it's like you want to find somewhere else to go. And I would say, if Jesus was born in a manger, why do you expect your beginning to be in a mansion? If Jesus, the Son of God, was born in a manger, sent to save the world, die for your sins and what's not, born in a manger, why do you think your beginning will be in this big mansion with one load of money or wherever you want to start? Don't give up on your dream. That's my biggest thing. Do not give up on your dream. As hard as it gets. I remember, as I was telling you before the podcast, I remember when I was going to start, I wanted everything to be perfect. I wanted the best editing software. I wanted the best camera equipment. I bought a GoPro. It was giving problems. And I was like, skip that. I want to encourage people as far as the world could reach. So I use my phone and I never give up on my dream. So I would say the biggest advice, the best encouragement I would give everybody, don't give up on your dream, man. Don't give up. Please don't give up.
That word, catch me. Please. We're even asking you, please don't give up.
Please don't give up. Please. You know what I mean?
It means a lot.
Exactly.
To give up at this moment.
Exactly.
So, as we close up our episode today with our one and wonderful guest with us today, it's nice having you on our podcast today.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Trust me. We only live like 30 minutes away. You live in Nevis, I live in St. Kitts. So whenever you want something, just hit me up. You got my number. Okay. Let's make something happen. That's too easy, bro.
Thank you, man. It is my pleasure. I feel very honored for you to be our first guest.
Yes. And I will tell you, the Officials podcast, I just sense that it will become something big. Once you don't give up, as I was just saying, I see it being one of the number one podcasts in the Caribbean. Once you just don't give up. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
you just keep going. Trust me. Like, as I was telling you earlier, like, St. Kitts and Nevis is so small. Everybody, not everybody. So
Yes.
you could get easy link ups. You could,
Yes. Connection.
you know,
and
touch
everything.
people's lives with your own messages and stuff like that. So we could make it happen. You know what I mean? I just love being here. It's a big honor. It's a huge honor, to be honest.
Thank you, man.
Mhm.
So, as we close up, I'd like to say thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us today on our wonderful podcast with the one and only motivator. He is not here to motivate you. No, he is here to add value to your life. And this is what he was here.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching.
Mhm.
Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe.
Mhm.
See you next time. A big shout out to Mojos for giving us this special space to be here today.
Right.
Thank you.
I'm not here to motivate you, but I'm here to add value to your life. General out.
Thank you.
Easy.